What is going on, guys? J-Hoy back with you today. I'm bringing you the 17th episode of the Be a GM series. And once again, I am being joined by my brother, the assistant GM of Ottawa right now. Chris, how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Looking forward to some better performances out of the team right now.
Definitely agree. And as you say that, we did actually make a line change. Now, I will mention this right now, but we did swap our third and fourth line centers in you can say it this time.
Killorn.
There you go. But I always say it wrong, so that's why. But we did swap these two in Howden and him. So we did make that move. Other than that, everything else is staying exactly the same. I did not make any other moves. But either way, we'll start the simulation out right away. But either way, I said way a lot right now. But looking towards the trade deadline, do you see us making any trades? And do you think anyone's going to step up, or do you think anyone's going to go in a little bit of a slump here?
I mean, unless we absolutely crap the bed right now, I don't foresee really any big trades going down. I mean, we're sitting at 22, 10, and 6. Last time we checked, we were like 7th in the league or something like that. So we're, as of right now, in the playoff race without a doubt. But I don't know what kind of trades you'd make, dude. I mean, other than maybe upgrading our third line defense, upgrading our fourth line, but there's not really much you can do upgrading the fourth line. I mean, we got 82s and 83s down there, so I think we have a solid team right now. And unless we get a trade offer that really blows us away, which would be shocking at this point in the GM, like in the season we're at, I don't think we're gonna make any trades. At least that I would do, anyways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't plan on any moves, but looking towards the trade deadline, obviously you can always add a piece to your roster. But I know we were trying to trade Anderson in the offseason. Then with his performance this year, you don't want to trade him. But like we said, we wanted to give Leonard more of a chance. But at this point in the season, Anderson's performing outstanding. Leonard got another win since we started the video, which is great. But we want to give Leonard more of a chance, but with Anderson performing like this, we can't. And obviously with the young guns in Binghamton, they are AHL team, in case you didn't know. We want to give them a chance too. But like I said, with our performance up here, and as I was just pointed out, we are on a 7-game winning streak. And
8 after that last game, and then now 9, I believe. Yeah. Well, there it is.
We go on 10, we can. But I'm going to stop it just for a second because I want to do the scouting so that way it doesn't come up again. As we're on a 10-game winning streak going into the All-Star game, or All-Star break, I should say. Let's go up to, February 1st, and look to continue this win streak. And another thing is Shinkarik is actually stepping up for once. He's 90 overall, playing our second line only because he basically jumped from like an 82 or whatever up to a 90 almost in 1 year. So we're kind of hesitant to put him on the first line, but he's performing quite well at the moment, so we definitely appreciate that from him. And I think we're still on a 10. We're still on a 10 going into Tampa Bay, the defending champions, and we end up losing to them to 5-2. But going against Buffalo, what can you look forward to win this game?
Well, I like the way Shinkarik is playing lately. As you said, he's on the second line for us. That's just due to personal preferences. If you've seen any of the previous videos, it's because we have Mike Hoffman and Bobby Ryan on the first line. And my brother here doesn't like to do double snipers because it takes away from one of their production. And, it makes sense. So that's why we have Shinkarik on the second line with Kyle Turris and Mark Stone. But, he had a goal in the next game after I was talking. So, if he keeps it up moving forward, hopefully we're looking at a 30-goal season out of him. That'd be huge. It'd be a really big boost of confidence and maybe increases overall even. And then we'd have to play with the lines at the end of the year as well. But I think having the big guys step up is important going down the home stretch because we're obviously going to be at the playoffs unless we lose every single game from here on out,
Yeah, highly unlikely that we do that. But Shinkarik does get his 20th of the year. Obviously great to see from him, being his, I think, second year, I believe it is, in the NHL.
Yeah.
So as we look forward to the end of February and the trade deadline, we definitely look for continuing progress from them. And definitely want our top lines to keep going as well. Hoffman leading the way in assists. Kind of hoping Ryan steps up. If not, the next year I'll probably end up moving him down and maybe getting something for the second line. If not, then moving him up. Kind of strange stat there. Bobby Ryan, 72 penalty minutes. So not sure what's going on with him. Maybe he's getting a little frustrated with not scoring and just taking it out on the opponent. Not really sure about that one. But Clefbaum leading the way in plus minus. Kind of interesting to see that playing on the I think second line with Cody Ceci. Haven't seen him too much this year, but 2-game losing streak, I believe, if not more, going into the trade deadline. Definitely want them to improve on that fact. Don't want them to start losing now because we definitely want a good spot for the playoffs. But going against tough teams later here in the season, what are you looking forward to definitely keep going here?
Well, I mean, when you have two good teams like we just had there with the Ottawa St. Louis matchup, it's about whose guys on the third and fourth lines are able to step up. The Stars, top 6 forwards, top 4 defensemen, and the goaltenders, basically a wash. When you have two really good teams, it's about who steps up from the third and fourth line. That third defensive pair. Maybe you had your backup goaltender going, but it's about the depth guys that step up when you have high profile matchups like that during the regular season.
Yeah, and as we go into the trade deadline, we're actually on a 5-game win streak as Bobby Ryan. I don't know if you saw this, Chris, but Bobby Ryan stepped up recently as well. Probably not too far behind Shinkaruk, but either way, he's taken over in goals as Hoffman seems to be the more of the passer on that line at the moment. But 40, 13, and 8 going into the trade deadline. Don't look to make any trades, but if someone offers us something we can't refuse, obviously we'll look into it. But we have, basically what the trading block is set at right now is we did want to trade Anderson, so he's still there. Basically what we wanted for him was a potential goalie that was kind of at the backup role at the moment. And I think some picks first round picks were in that as well. But going to the trade deadline, obviously we're not looking to make moves, but if something comes along, then we're not going to turn it down. What are you looking for?
Well, Anderson's staying hot. 34 out of the 40 wins. Kind of surprising that he has that many. And it frustrates the hell out of me in this game that they don't, rotate the goaltenders more often when they're that similar in the overall. But depth scoring. I mean, I sound like a broken record saying it in every single video, and I apologize for that. But, I mean, it's true. You had to have depth scoring to win in the league, and we had it last year. And I'm looking for more of the same this year. Like last year, our third and fourth line guys, as I said earlier, or in the last video, I should say, stepped up, 20, 30 points from the third and fourth line guys, which were huge for us because the top guys only had 50 to 65 points or roughly. So I think with those guys stepping up late in the season here, it can become a big deal. And as I said, in the playoffs, you have high-profile matchups, and in those matchups, you need to look for your, lesser guys to really step up and kind of overperform, I'll say. But you also want your big guys to, keep at their pace and keep pushing the guys and having them perform as well. So it's really about the whole team in scoring as we stay strong in this playoff push.
Yeah, like you said, the top guys still performing, but either way, you want them to hit the 70-point to 80-point. I don't know what word I want to use there, but the plateau of, I guess, those type of points. But either way, like I said, in Ottawa, our trend seems to be as we have the depth scoring, like Chris has said, and Hoffman looked to be breaking the 50-point or 50 assist mark this season. Kind of good to see from him finally. But either way, just under 50 wins, 49, 17, and 8. Let's check the standings real quick. We are we're tied for first of the Atlantic with Toronto. Kind of interesting to see there because usually they struggle a lot. But looks like we're up for the Presidents, so that's good to see. LA, Toronto, and us are definitely on top of the league. I don't think we have a question we're in the playoffs or not because our thing is definitely struggling a little bit. Pittsburgh, major gap there in that division, so kind of interesting to see there as well. Obviously with Malkin and Crosby there along with Letang, and looks like Thomas Greiss is getting some of their wins there. That's kind of interesting to see. Not sure what's happening there, but either way, where's Tampa Bay? They're sitting in fourth, so I don't want to say they're struggling, but they're definitely underperforming this year. What is their record? 40, 31, and 4. So they're not really struggling, but they're not doing nearly as good as they used to. And Buffalo was another team last year that did very well. but this year obviously struggling at the bottom of the league, I believe. Nope, they're within the top. Okay, so bottom 5 of the league. Either way, but as we go to the rest of the season, who are you hoping for the playoffs? Looking at the standings as they are now.
Well, Josh, if you would just stay there for a second, it looks like there's a 3-team race, I should say, in the East. You've got us, Toronto, and Pittsburgh. Next highest in points is an 87, and that's going down from a 99. So it's interesting to see that big of a gap. I know people always knock the Eastern Conference as opposed to the West. It's weak, and it's the same in the NBA. It's weak, but it's interesting to see that big of a gap. As Josh mentioned, Buffalo did solid last year, bottom 5 in the league right now, and so it should be a smooth sailing for us until the conference finals, to hopefully make a deep playoff run and not get knocked out in the first round for the 4th year in a row.
Yeah, definitely don't want a first round exit. I'm really tired of doing that. And if you're looking at these points and all these the leaders in the league, it looks like Phil Kessel and JVR in Toronto are tearing stuff up. But I don't even know who their goalie is at the moment. As we look for that, Jonathan Bernier. Okay, so kind of an underrated guy. Haven't really heard too much about him in real life, but Craig Anderson's above him. So kind of interested to see that. But Jonathan Bernier one ahead of Craig Anderson in the save percentage department. But either way, let's go to the end of the season and see what's going to go on. I'm going to go week by week at the moment just because I want to see it's kind of 4 games at a time. And then the next week will be the last week. So we did reach the 50 win thing, I think, for the second time, I think. I'm not really exactly sure about that one. But either way, definitely a great year from us. Even though we don't really have that really stand-out guy, I should say Bobby Ryan, very close to the 30 goals. And like you said before, Shinkarik, definitely want to get him to 30 goals as well. So that way he performs even better next year and for the years to come here in Ottawa. But I think what did we do that week? We won 2, lost 2. So we went 2-2, kind of average. But Toronto did the same thing, so kind of good to see. And if you didn't notice already, we actually play them 3rd. So kind of interesting to see that. So we're actually going to go up to the game before that. And I think I'm actually going to go like we do for the playoffs and actually simulate through it and see what happens in the game. But going into Toronto, or actually, yeah, we're going into Toronto. So what do you look for in that game?
Well, Josh, man, I don't know. It's weird that they didn't come up with the stats there, but they obviously have 2 high-scoring guys in JVR and Phil Kessel. Those are ridiculous numbers that obviously only happen in video games because in real life, Toronto is awful. There's no way Phil Kessel would score 60 goals in real life. There's no way JVR would hit the 60 assist number in real life. So it's interesting to see that. You look at our top scorer, 30 goals with Bobby Ryan. That tells you something. It looks like we do have depth scoring, and it looks like Toronto doesn't right now. And as I said earlier, that could play huge in this game and in the playoffs.
Definitely agree with that. And I don't know if you noticed 2 things, actually. Cody Ceci leading the way in assists, playing on the second line over Erik Karlsson. Kind of interesting to see that, but obviously performed very well for us. And actually, if we win tonight, we do win the conference and the division, I believe. I believe I saw that correctly. But, yeah, we're definitely ahead of them. But I think we definitely got the Presidents clinched this year, unless everyone else goes off and we don't. But if we go into Toronto, go to the simulation, I definitely want to see a good game here at least. But some guy I've never even heard of gets a goal on Robin Leonard, so he's in net for this one. Morgan Riley gets a second. And in case you guys haven't noticed, we are getting, shots are pretty even, so that's kind of surprising. Mark Stone gets a goal, kind of interesting to see there. But going into the second period, definitely want to see our guys step up, not by a shorthanded goal by Van Riemsdyk here. Actually, it was a kind of a distance shot. That was kind of interesting to see. Not really sure what happened there. Maybe it just kind of came in and slapped it home. But 2-goal deficit going into the third period, gets an early power play, but ends up not costing them, but Lupo gets a goal right after, as well as a goal following by Bobby Ryan. And a lot of things I don't usually see in the playoffs are power play goals. I don't usually see that too often, but Morgan Riley puts a final nail in the coffin We don't get out, or we actually outshoot them, but end up losing. So it kind of seems to be a trend in Ottawa. But either way, Stone gets his 10th of the year as Ryan gets his 31st. And I don't even know what's going on with this team because we're kind of so all over the place that it's kind of interesting to see. But with Cody Ceci taking over in points, maybe next year we might actually give him a shot in the first line, maybe on the left position, and just kind of put them both together and see what they can do. But going into, I think, this last game in New York against the Islanders, I don't know if they're fighting for a spot or not. But if we win tonight, we win the division. I don't think they have. Oh, they do have a chance. So that's not good to see. But I definitely think if we win tonight, we win the Presidents. So that's gonna be good for us. But I'm just gonna simulate through it, and then we'll probably call it a video here soon. But what happens here? Why does simulation take so long in this game? I'm not really sure. So hopefully in NHL 16 they'll do better. What did I see? 9-5. Holy cow! But Zibanejad, wow. So I do want to check the stats here because I do think we just want to. I'm not going to go too far, but we did make the playoffs. I guarantee that. But as we look at the stats here real quick, I don't know what to look for here because I know Cody Ceci definitely stepped up, and Zibanejad looked like he had a lot of goals this year. So maybe that was taken away from Bobby Ryan's. But I'm not really sure what to look for here. I'm really not. But okay, so it looks like Zibanejad put up 72. So that's kind of interesting to see. So this is kind of interesting. Kyle Turris seems to be like around the 60-point mark, maybe a couple more, but I don't even know. Zibanejad seemed to step up a lot this year, so that's good to see. 30 goals, definitely. I don't want to say a breakout year because he's been up here and doing pretty good, but definitely wanted more out of him. But that's very interesting to see. These three are definitely doing kind of weird, in my mind anyway. You just made a weird facial expression. What are you thinking about over there?
It just really shocks me that a 90 overall player playing, although on the second line, only has 25 goals and 41 points. You look at Toronto's guys. JVR and Phil Kessel cannot be that much better. There's no way they're playing on that much better of a line. How in the world does Shinkaruk end up with 41 points and JVR and Kessel both reach the 100-point region? It makes no sense to me. This
not really what I wanted to see, but Ryan definitely stepped up again. So looks like Hoffman was the more playmaker on that line, along with Zibanejad and Ryan doing all the scoring. I shouldn't say all, but majority of the scoring. And Silfverberg definitely an underperformer there. I don't know what happened, but with oh my goodness. Well, with these two lines almost going off, if we got that like brought back like a Weir Koch or a Sakara that we had to trade, unfortunately, but if we brought back one of those, our defense would be absolutely going off. But 3 guys with 63 plus points, definitely want to see that from our team. But either way, let's check goalies real quick, and wow, just wow. With our team, we expected Leonard to kind of average, kind of the even in stats wise, but 12-4. And 12-4-4, I should say. You can't overlook that at all. Definitely a great backup for this year. 10 shutouts for Craig Anderson, 2 assists. Kind of weird to see. And they're both the same overall again. This is so weird. So I don't really know what to look for the future. But either way, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Anything you guys say, Chris?
Nope, just hoping for a better performance in the playoffs this year. 54 wins in the regular season should translate to a long postseason run.
Yep, and like we said, the next video will be the playoffs and probably the first round, probably only the first round. But either way, we'll leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, comment to what you think of the series, and if you have any feedback. Feedback's always great, and subscribe if you're new. I think I already said that, but either way, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll see you later.